Well, we're here with our friend Byron Donalds. Byron, how are you, sir?
Mark, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay. It's good to hear your voice. Been a little while. Now, couple of things here. What's with this Democrat nomination in New York, this guy? And you're from New York originally, so I'm asking you, Zaran Mamdani, what the hell is it? Help me with this, Byron. I can't even pronounce his name.
I can't help you either. Nobody knew who he was until last night.
Mamdani, all right, good for you, Mr. Producer. Did you vote for him? No, of course not. All right, well, there you go. Anyway, Byron, he's an Islamist. He's a Marxist. He helped found these students for whatever it is in Palestine. He's BDS. He's talking about having government-run supermarkets, free public transportation. It's going on and on and on. How do people vote for somebody like this?
First, Mark, I don't know what's going on in the Democrat Party. I don't think they know what's going on in that party. But these guys are committed to the most insane policies that do not work, that have been proven economically they cannot work. But they just promote them loudly, and they yell loudly about how they're going to fix everything. I think New Yorkers are just as frustrated about everything else. But as I was talking to a couple of friends today, and I said, they elected a guy to fix affordability when it's the Democrat Party that created the affordability crisis because they overspend, they tax too much, they overregulate, prices go up on everybody, and they think that more regulation is going to solve the thing that they already did. So Biden broke it. Kamala didn't know what she was doing. AOC loves it, and Mamdani is now the Democrat nominee. So if this is the way the Democrats are going to go, they're going to continue to lose. I'm not sure about New York, but around the country, that's not going to fly.
I think you're right, but let's think about New York City. I mean, it's probably, and I'm not putting down any other cities. I love my home city of Philadelphia, but it's probably the most important city financially and in many respects, other respects. And the idea that you would have an Islamist Marxist who's as radical as hell, who's repeating the language of terrorists. I'm not saying he's a terrorist, but he's repeating the language of them, this global intifada. And then he doubles down. He says, no, that's just a statement of people who want to be free. It doesn't mean it. No, we know what it means. The first intifada, the second intifada. I'm just thinking out loud. And he wants to massively increase taxes. So you're going to lose a corporate base. You're not going to be able to even hire enough people to fill the police department, the NYPD, or the fire department. They're not going to want to work for a kook like this. The teachers' unions and others are going to run wild, shaking them down for a fortune. Will be more than happy to oblige. I just think you're going to see a massive depopulation of New York and a repopulation of New York with individuals who share his ideology from all over the country, if not all over the world. I think if he's elected, it's going to destroy the city once and for all. You don't have to agree with me, but that's my view.
No, I agree with you. I'll tell you exactly what I think. I think you're absolutely right on this. I think it's really unfortunate to hardworking New Yorkers who just want common sense, and they just want common sense policies to reign so they can live their lives. It's really a detriment to them. The people who are going to continue to leave New York, they're coming to Florida, Mark. They're going to continue to do that. They're going to go to Texas. They're going to Tennessee. They're looking at this guy and saying, I just can't anymore. We are done. And so, a lot of the reason why people are leaving New York and Chicago and so many of these places and coming to places like Florida is because we've had consistent governance over decades. I mean, Governor DeSantis has done a tremendous job in Florida. That's why so many people have moved to Florida, and that's going to continue, Mark. And so we're just going to make sure that we're the best state in the country continuously going into the future. And people come from New York or wherever, they got to know, in Florida, we do business differently. We are conservative. We respect everybody's freedoms and rights. We protect those, but we're a conservative state with guiding principles, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, that's why I love it here. Now, the president really quite miraculously, brilliantly, takes out the Iranian nuclear sites. And look, if he wasn't the commander-in-chief, they'd still be there, and it'd be a massive problem. He's working closely with the Israelis and Bibi Netanyahu. He put out a statement tonight praising the hell out of Netanyahu and condemning what they're... Do you realize, Byron, that Bibi Netanyahu has to go to court on Monday? He's a wartime leader. He has to go to court on Monday to defend his use of cigars. Have you ever heard of anything like this?
No, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. The man is running a country. He's trying to do everything he can to protect Israeli citizens and, frankly, be a bulwark against the insane, radical, anti-Semitic left. And so to be hauled in the court over something so stupid, look, in this business, Mark, you understand that the craziness comes from any corner. You just kind of have to always be ready. But I think the thing that we've seen out of Bibi is he's not going to be deterred from leading Israel. He's not going to be deterred on doing what he believes is the right thing to do in the interest of the Israeli people. And really, he's the prime minister for a time such as this. So, Bibi, don't let the haters get you down. Keep going.
And our tremendous president, he's historic, he's iconic, and he did something these other presidents wouldn't do. Carter brought in the enemy in Iran, and he one after another after that. George Bush, Clinton, you have Obama, you have Biden. They all said no nuclear weapons, and not one of them lifted a finger to actually stop it. And Trump comes in and he sees, Biden funded all this. He's muscled them up. I can't let look, I'll negotiate, but there's some point at which I got to do something about it. Now, there's a lot of criticism of this from the Democrat Party, including the impeachment ring over there, which is a big ring of morons. But nonetheless, Hakeem Jeffries tonight says we don't have the evidence that it did what it's supposed to do. Anything to diminish this man, but it's not going to work, is it?
No, it's not. And look, President Trump made the absolute right call, and you are correct. So many presidents before him have dithered on this issue with nuclear Iran. They were not doing the right thing. You had the Obama administration and the Biden administration, which empowered this Robert Malley, this left-wing nut. They empowered him to make United States policy with Iran. That was insane policy, and it only allowed the regime to get further down this road. So Donald Trump, listen, for people who were saying, we're getting dragged into another conflict, the president's been clear on this thing for a while. No nukes in Iran, but we're not putting boots on the ground. And I firmly support that. He made the right call, making sure our bombers were in the air to take out those sites. The world is safer today as a result. And to some of my colleagues who believe that America first means that you cannot engage anywhere around the world, then they have forgotten the lessons when America ignores radicalism like the Iranian regime. The lessons are clear in history. That is we're going to go inject constitutional democracy in Iran. I don't agree with that. But you have to look this evil in the face and say, you are not going to have weapons that can literally obliterate Tel Aviv at a moment's notice. We're not going to let it happen. The president made the right call. The results have been great. And Mark, and you've seen this. We've been warned about the Russians and the Chinese. They haven't done anything.
Nothing.
And they won't.
We're here with Byron Donalds. Byron, remind people what area of Florida you represent.
I represent Naples, Fort Myers, Marco Island, Sanibel, Captiva Islands.
Those are hot areas, aren't they? I don't mean weather hot. I mean they're hot areas for people to live in.
100%. We get people moving there all the time. It's a great place to live.
And from these last hurricanes, are they doing a little better, building back okay, or at least, Yeah,
in Southwest Florida, we've kind of recovered from Ian. Helene and Milton did some water damage to our barrier islands, but it's just a process. You start moving further up, where they really got hit, like a Cedar Key. They really got hit by Helene and Milton, Port Charlotte area. Still trying to recover, but it's just a process. The biggest thing, Mark, is I'm glad the president's actually taken a strong look at FEMA, because FEMA's just been a disaster. Like, if people think FEMA is this agency that comes in and helps everybody, it's a bureaucratic mess, and it's not been working. It's slow, and so President Trump, to his credit, being the commander-in-chief and being a leader, is saying enough is enough. We're going to fix this thing once and for all. So happy to see what his reforms look like. So we got to be able to help people when the chips are down. That's what America's about.
Now, what's going on in the Senate? The speaker seems a little frustrated. They seem to be wanting to kind of mess around with everything, and he's warning, look, I could barely put a majority together here. You mess around with this too much, I can't get a majority in the House, right?
Yeah, that's a real thing, and I think the Senate is, typical of the upper chamber. They think they know best. So they're trying to, make some changes in there, doing their stuff, make some changes to tax policy. They really have expanded this Green New Deal stuff, and so they have actually made it longer.
What?
Mark, I'm telling you, Mark, the House provision was going to sunset the terrible pieces of those Green New Deal tax credits that Biden put in. We were sunsetting them in 2028. The Senate's provision actually extends them to 2030, past President Trump's presidency. And so in the House, you do have House members who are saying, this is nuts. Why would we do that? We can't do that to the grid. It's unreliable energy. It's going to make it harder to power America into the future. But that's in the Senate's version as it stands today. Our hope is that they take the House's version when it comes to sunsetting those Green New Deal tax credits. The president wants it out. He tweeted that the other day. President Trump is saying, no, get rid of it. It's a scam. And he's right.
Unbelievable. I didn't even know that was going on. I'm glad you told us. I'm sure other shenanigans are going on,
in the
too.
Background.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's why it's going to take us a minute to finish this thing. I think we can get it done, though, to be honest with you. Will we hit July 4th? I hope so. I think we should get that done by then. But the Senate has the bill right now. We'll see what they come up with over the next couple of days.
Problem is, if they don't get these tax cuts in place soon so they resonate throughout the economy, you got to make sure they resonate by the time the midterms are coming, you know? It's important.
I agree. I think we're going to get tax done. I think we're going to get it all done definitely before August. So to compare it, when we originally did Tax Cut and Jobs Act under the first Trump administration, that passed in December before the next midterm year.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to wait that long. We'll be definitely done, I'll say, sometime in July. I think maybe a week or two into July we'll be done. The bigger thing is Tom Homan and Kristi Noem, they need the resources for the deportation force. That's in the bill. We have to get them that money immediately. They need those resources so the president can actually keep his promise to the American people, not just securing the border, but sending people home who need to be out of the country.
My understanding, there's only 5,000 full-time people in ICE, and this would add another 10,000. So that's, what is that, a 200% increase, something like that?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not a math guy. You're a math guy.
Yeah, you did pretty good on the fly. That was good. But no, we need the bodies. We need the bed space. It's, deporting a lot of people is a logistical operation, and logistical operations take resources. And so we have a responsibility to deliver. That's also in the one big beautiful bill. We need to get that to the president's desk so he can fulfill his mandate that was given to him by the American people. Well,
Byron, our best to your family, your lovely wife, your 2 kids. From my wife as well. You're a good man. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Take it easy.
You too. Take care of yourself.